favorite podcast on the planet, Realty Talk. We're very excited. Lots of amazing things to talk about. But before we do that, we're going to do our intro. So to my left, we have the queen of the closing table. Suzanne Cini, founder, CEO of Innovate Realty, and many other things, very exciting things, which I think we're going to maybe touch on a little bit today.
Yeah, maybe.
And I am Paul Fix-It-All Hansen. I'm embracing my nickname. So excited to be back. Before we jump into like all things real estate, I have to say, like 4 people today have told me I look tan.
Yes, yeah. You know what? I will say though, somebody told me yesterday I look tan too. So I feel like, you know, it's summer, we're outside.
Yeah.
You, however, look extra tan. And we talked about, you know, you get pretty dark.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm like half Polynesian, and I don't wear.
Why did I not know that?
I don't know.
Yeah, we've talked about these DNA tests before, but I didn't know.
I won't do it. I won't do a DNA test, but
okay. Are you like afraid of what is like them people having your information? Are you? Like,
I was adopted.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I've heard lots of people that do it, and then family members out of the woodworks come and they kind of.
Okay.
So
all
I'm
right.
like,
so you're just like antisocial more than
I'm
anything.
not interested. Yeah.
Okay. It's not that you're afraid of like your information being sold to like China or something.
No,
like I hear. Yeah.
They probably already have it.
Yeah. Exactly. If they want it, they got it.
Yeah. My point was and I don't wear sunscreen.
Okay.
I don't believe in it. I think it's for the birds.
Okay.
So whenever I'm outside, I soak up the rays. It's good.
Okay, I have something to say about that because I recently heard that. Do you wear sunglasses in the sun?
It depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
In these situations, are you in sunglasses when you're getting this tan?
Or a hat.
Okay.
Like if I go to the pool. I go to the pool on the weekends with my daughters a lot now.
Okay. There's a reason for this question, by the way. I'm not just like asking about fashion, but.
So I wear a hat or sunglasses.
Okay.
But that's it.
Okay.
Well, I do wear a lotion. My wife has me wearing a lotion on my face that has like SPF 15.
Okay.
But outside of that, no sunscreen.
Okay. So I recently heard, and I need to do more research on this, but I recently heard that if you wear sunglasses, it's actually tricking your body into thinking that you are safe and in the dark.
Oh.
So your body doesn't
fried.
Yeah, so you get fried, exactly. So your body like doesn't do the things that it's supposed to do in the sun. But if you don't wear sunglasses, then your body adapts to the sun and you get a better tan and your body soaks it in better and all the things. So I feel like I can believe that one. You know, your body, I mean, our bodies are amazing, do amazing things. So
yeah, I would say probably 90% of the time I'm in the sun, I don't wear sunglasses because I'm by water.
Yeah.
And I have this weird thing, like if I wear glasses or sunglasses, they have to be like really
crystal
clean.
Clear. Oh, you are.
Because if there's any sort of stuff on them, it just like freaks me out. So in a pool, splashing, all this, I can't do it.
Yeah. Okay. Does it make you crazy when you're with me and you look over and my sunglasses are just like trash? Because I will say that is like a Suzanne MO.
You don't
like,
clean your glasses?
I do, but I mean, not like daily. And it is very difficult when you have to wear makeup with sunglasses. So
I mean, essentially, I clean my glasses every time I put them on.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, yep.
We're learning lots.
I'm like, we're different. We're different people, but okay. All right.
So I spend time at the pool, and I was in Park City for a couple of days, and at like a summit.
Yeah. Can we talk about the summit? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because you cheated on us with another podcast at this summit. So.
I did. But it was, I'll talk about it. But to wrap a ribbon around the sun thing, you're higher in elevation.
Yeah.
And so when you're outside, the sun's a little more powerful.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did have a couple like hike, run things. Okay. So I was outside.
All right.
It was good.
All right.
But I'm happy. I'm happy to feel tan.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't tone it, tan it is what I've always heard.
Yes.
That's actually one of my favorite,
if you can't tone it, tan it.
all-time favorite lines of like one of my friends back in the day. When he told me that, I was like, oh, you're right. Like just everything looks better tan.
So this is a perfect segue into this summit because I was having dinner on Monday night. I can't say the names of the people I was having dinner with, but it was a really interesting summit. There were like 50 or 100, CEOs or entrepreneurs. The event was put on by Entrepreneur Magazine. And then there were like 50 to 100 professional athletes. So my friend has a large NFL representation business, and they represent some NBA players and stuff as well. So a bunch of, active and retired players. And they kind of like put this big group together, and they separated us all off. So we're, first night we're getting to know everybody. And one of the questions was like, what do you do for fun? And one of the questions was like, for the entrepreneurs, what sports make you the most excited?
Okay.
And this entrepreneur, again, I'm not going to say who it was. He's like, well, I think, my favorite hobby or sport is bronzing.
Bronzing.
And I was like, what the fuck is bronzing?
Is that a sport?
And then we had this whole 30-minute like conversation, laughing, arguing, whatever.
Gosh.
And he's like, no, I think like being really good at getting tan is a sport. And so he was talking about how, on the weekends, he'll block out like an hour of time to like have the right setup and get access to the sun.
Yeah, the UV, I mean, you have to check UV and where that's at.
This person was particularly pale. And so I'm like, well, clearly you're bad at your sport. Not pale, but like...
Not tan,
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Okay, yeah. Well, maybe he can try the sunglass tip.
Yeah.
You can circle that back and...
I'll let him know.
Wow, full circle. Okay.
Yeah, it was a cool event, though. I mean, it was, we were invited to go... There were 3... businesses that were able to go and pitch, either, an investment or an opportunity. Mm-hmm. We were one of them. And so it was really exciting. The other 2, one was a venture capital investment. The other was a consumer brand investment. Russell Wilson's wife, Ciara.
Yes, I corrected you earlier. Ciara.
Launched a brand that goes out and Target, I think, in the next 6 weeks. It's like a kid's juice box with protein.
Okay.
And then we got to pitch, a couple of our funds, which was exciting. And a lot of really interesting connections were made. And, we've got, we can't talk about it much today, but I think in the next couple of months, we'll have some really exciting news about partnerships that will help the brokerage expand, the investment side of our business expand at a national or semi-national level, which is really exciting. So
cool.
It was a cool summit. It was interesting. Like, going into it, this is the first time they ever did it.
Okay.
And, I looking at it on paper, I was like, okay, how's that going to work? You got, some of the highest paid, most famous NFL players on the planet right now, today. Yeah. And then these other, CEOs and entrepreneurs and stuff. And, my friends that were organizing the event were asking for input. I'm like, well, the first thing you got to make sure is that, like, A, the athletes are open and receptive to hearing about business opportunities, and B, the entrepreneurs or other people you invite are not like fan people or like starstruck.
Totally.
Because they're gonna be asking for selfies and all this. It's like, that would be awkward and weird.
Yeah.
And I've spent a lot of time around like quote unquote famous people. And it's, to me, they're just a person.
Right.
And so, I
can't
think
get
it was
starstruck.
not even a little.
Yeah.
And in reality, I don't know half of the people.
Yeah.
And so...
you and I saw Kanye and Bianca at what hotel? The
Chateau Marmont.
Chateau Marmont. And we're like, oh, yeah, there's Kanye. Like, both of us no Fs at all.
I mean, but it's like people that go into that connection, like when you meet somebody, I don't know. It's just if they're overly aggressive, like, hey, can I get a signature? Can I get a picture with you or whatever? It's you're actually not trying to create a unique contact. You're just, anyways.
Yeah.
Net, the event was really good. It was exciting. Made some really interesting contacts. I think there's a lot of business to be done. Yeah. But we got to go and execute a little.
Well, and I think the concept of it is really cool because it's really geared around what is beyond the sport and like that piece of it. And there are so many things. I think that's such a great value that your contact is providing to those athletes, Yeah,
it was interesting. I mean, I don't remember. It's larger than half, but a huge number of NFL players are bankrupt the minute they're done.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they go to school just to get the scholarship to play, but they don't really think about what comes after.
Yeah.
And so, I think from his vantage point, it's how do you use your name, brand, and likeness and your wealth as you're creating it to create a business opportunity, outside of football. And, I think half of the people are super interested in that. And then others think they're going to be playing in the
Killing
league
it
forever.
yeah.
They'll make enough that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But, I think for us, it's an interesting, kind of opportunity. I mean, what I spoke about with a couple players that are actively playing today is, they came up and approached and said, hey, we're really interested in making real estate investments. One of them has bought in 3 rentals. Mm-hmm. So he got drafted. He goes to this city and he says, okay, I'm going to buy 3 rental properties. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, well, walk me through how those go. And he's like, I don't know. I just wrote a check and I bought them in cash and I'm not using any leverage. And I'm like, okay, so, what's your cap rate? And, what kind of cash on cash return are you getting? And he's like, I don't know what any of that means.
Yeah.
It's like I put a renter in and I think they pay every month. I'm like, holy smokes, there's a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
And for him specifically, what we talked about doing was actually starting to do some fix and flip investments while he's actively playing.
Right.
Building a team and launching a division of our brokerage in that specific city.
Yeah.
With his name, brand, and likeness. So a partnership of splashy name, Innovate Realty, launching in a new market. Yeah. And doing fix and flip opportunities, as he's scaling that up.
Right.
And, I get really excited because if you're an agent, that is in this particular city at a big box brokerage, you're probably not getting a lot of opportunity.
Right.
This person specifically is like, 3-time Super Bowl champion, going to be the highest paid person in that position. Yeah. And so all of the media and attention for that whole city is on them right now.
Right.
And I would think, they're likely not going to ever be the one consummating transactions. Right. But being able to recruit and develop relationships with agents at other brokerages, I think would be really exciting. And so a lot more to come. We can't share too many more details.
We'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I mean, as far as the market goes, I think, I don't want to be a broken record. I think interest rates still the same. Nothing's really changing in the market. Yeah. What I will say is changing on the real estate side quite a bit. And again, it goes back to, it's funny, I don't know how much the consumer cares about this, but in the real estate space, real estate agents are feeling this consolidation with these big brokerages coming in and just gobbling up the independents, and so we just saw another acquisition that kind of threw us a little bit.
Can I share one thing before we go into that?
Yeah, of course.
Because I think I'm getting a little more clear too as to why we're in the market we're in. Mm-hmm. So it was like a week ago I had this conversation. I have a friend that sits on a bunch of different boards, but he sits on a public water board. Okay. And so it's a public utility providing water for this specific city. And we were talking about how, when the administration announces that they're really close to a deal, mm-hmm. I was just shocked on the gas thing, right? Yeah. With Iran. I was shocked that we didn't see even a little bit of movement on the 10-year. Right. I thought maybe 10 to 20 basis points. Mm-hmm. And it actually kind of did the opposite. It went up a little bit. And so we were in like a really great, economic discussion around why is that the case. And I think, in this particular situation, the public utilities for water, for example, in this dynamic, they reprice every 5 years. Okay. And so they're in that moment now and they're looking back over the last 5 years and they're saying, okay, if water to these residential properties is X dollars per gallon, now they're looking backwards 5 years and now they're baking in inflation and they're baking in their CapEx expenses and other bonds they have to go and put in. Right. And so I think what we're seeing is that a lot of the inflation that we experienced over the last 4 and 5 years actually hasn't necessarily been priced into a lot of the commodities or goods. And that's starting to take place. Okay. And so rates may not go down for a really long time because we still have pinned up inflation that's not actually hit the consumer yet. Right. Which is really, really weird. So you'll start seeing that in rate increases for specific items. So, like on the oil thing, it's possible, and I don't know, I'm just guessing at this point, but it's possible that the price per gallon or the price for crude or whatever even once a deal's reached, may not like tear all the way down.
Yeah.
Because there's still some trailing inflation that will bleed into it.
Wow. Okay,
So I don't know if that's true, but
I'm like, so what you're
guess.
saying is everyone is screwed for the foreseeable future.
I don't think so. I mean, I think what it is that, 6.5% 30-year mortgage feels high.
Yeah.
Only because we used to be in a 2.5% environment 2 to 3 years ago.
Right.
But in the 80s, we had 15% mortgages.
Right.
30-year mortgages. So I don't think we're going back to 2, and I don't think we're going up to 15.
Yeah.
I think 6 may be the new normal for a really long time. Fact is, we still have a shortage of 4 million housing units in the U.S. Inventory is not really increasing. I mean, we're seeing certain spikes in certain areas of supply, but it's not like there's a 50% increase of listings.
Right.
And so until that happens, people aren't really going to decide to take less for their property. So values will stay flat or maybe up in certain areas.
Yeah.
And rates will probably stay essentially the same.
Yeah.
So if you're waiting to buy, it's not logical.
Yeah, it's not getting better.
No.
It's not improving.
No.
Yeah. No, I mean, we say that all the time and we see it in the market and we hear hesitation. I think if things could potentially be more affordable outside of that, it could be an easier pill to swallow. So if we do see gas prices go down and just the day-to-day, expenses go down a bit, I just, it's one of those things where like once they're up, you never really see them go that far down. Even like cost of food and, once they're at that price, it's like.
That's the new normal.
That's the new normal.
Yeah.
So,
But I think that trails like it's a great transition into what we're talking about, because if you're a real estate agent for the last 20 years or 2 years or 5 years, whatever your duration is, it's a harder time. The argument is that it's harder because there's fewer transactions taking place to make the kind of money that you want to make.
Right.
And so all this splashy news of consolidation and brokerages and deals and all this, from my perspective, what we're seeing is agents getting caught up in all of that noise and not actually just perfecting their
doing
craft.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. For us, it's an amazing opportunity to grow the brokerage.
Yeah, I mean, and that's how I feel. I think each agent needs something different, right? Yeah. And like if you are a Compass, or it's every agent is exactly the same. They have the same tools. They have the same support and so if you really want to stand out and win a client over, you have to do something a little different, Yeah. I mean, are people going to interview 10 Compass agents? Like, how do you differentiate yourself there? And so I think there's definitely opportunity for the independents in this situation, because one thing I will say, being an independent brokerage, and obviously I'm biased saying that. No, I mean, I think we could talk both sides of it. But I think, being an independent, we're working harder every single day to set ourselves apart, I was talking to our director of marketing the other day, and he's like, brokerages drop the AI buzzword, that they're using AI. And really, like, if you're not using, like, that shouldn't even be something you brag about. If you are not using AI, like, there is a problem. And if you're just bragging that you have AI, like, you're not using it properly. Yeah. So, we truly have converted to it is insane the things that we are doing on the back end to like fully automate agents' lives and marketing and the requests that come in and our speed in which we can deliver things to agents and just we're putting together like some creative stuff that I just don't know if that's the focus on
well really I think what we're doing is basically trying to take if an agent works 40 hours in a week, we're trying to take the time that they allocate to tasks that could be automated off of their plate so that they can focus on the relationships with the buyers and sellers.
Right.
Because that's where they actually consummate transactions. But perfect segue. So this deal that is announced, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that this, I mean, I guess we should.
Yeah.
Apologies in advance, but I didn't even know this was a brokerage, number one.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Bed Bath
I barely knew they were a brokerage, and I'm in the brokerage business. It was very surprising. They do have a location in California. I think because they're national, maybe they don't have a saturated presence anywhere enough for us to really, be seeing them all over the place. But
so Bed Bath and Beyond,
yes,
is I'm assuming everyone knows who that is, but I'll just qualify it, is a retail business that sells towels and sheets, and they have like that one section that's like just trinkets and shit.
Yeah. Candles.
Yeah, candles. And they go and acquire a real estate, a kind of a vertically integrated real estate arm.
Yeah.
So brokerage, title, escrow, lending, all of that. For $54.5 million.
Right. And, it's interesting because, so it sounds like they just want to create, like you're laughing, but it sounds like, I think, let's put it this way, even as far back as when I was, selling real estate for Zillow and representing them when they bought and sold houses, a lot of places want to create this marketplace where everything is integrated and it's a one-stop shop, and I think that's where even, when we talked about the Redfin, Compass, the Quicken Loans, like all of it. Like I think everyone's kind of got this mentality, I think, of just kind of pulling everything together and owning every piece of the real estate world. And that includes shopping, and that includes home improvement,
Yeah, I'm laughing because in my head I had this visual of like a consumer walking into a Bed Bath and Beyond, and it's like, okay, we have towels here and we have a new house here. We can sell you either. Like,
whatever you choose. Yeah, we've got it all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's obviously not that, but to me, it's I don't know. I haven't had enough time to really consolidate if I understand it, but it's unique because you've got a brand Bed Bath and Beyond that is obviously, retail is dying. Like, let's just be honest about, those dynamics. And that's been happening since the early stages of the internet era, which, direct to consumer, if you have a specific product like a towel, for example, if you sell towels into retail, your margins are worse. And then all of the excess, margin goes to the retailer, and it's really expensive to have real estate and people standing in a retail building selling that towel. Right. So if you go directly to the customer, your margins are better and, experience is better. You can just buy it on your phone. You don't have to go in and whatnot. Obviously, some people still like going to the store, but retail is dying. And so they're probably looking at this like, hey, can we move more of our product in alignment with a real estate transaction? And the brokerage is probably looking at it from the other angle going, hey, can we attach to a big box name, right? And then have access to customers and relationships and things that we can try to get vertical. But from 10,000 feet, really what it is businesses are doing less deals and they're trying to attach additional margin anywhere they can.
Yeah, and I feel like lead gen is a thing too. Know, it's like if they have a name and can generate leads and send people their way. I mean, they did test. I was telling you before we started filming, but they did test a landing page that it actually worked. Like I know someone that a good friend of mine that ended up going through their channel to refi his mortgage. So it's like, I guess
after buying towels?
Yes, checked out a pop-up. No, making that up. But so
I can see how that would work though. Like as you go to checkout, a lot of retailers say, hey, if you subscribe with your email or whatever, you sign up for our newsletter or whatever it is, then we'll give you a discount. So if Bed Bath & Beyond converts the traffic that's in the store to lead generation, and then there's a level of trust that's already established,
Yeah.
then why wouldn't that person
Right.
go and trade and,
Right.
and do a deal with a brokerage? I don't know.
Right. I mean, again, going back to Zillow, it's like that all started with a Zestimate. You
Right.
know, that is literally where they started, with providing a value. They
Yeah.
built the trust. Now they've got a stronghold on every agent out there
Yeah.
to buy leads from them. So you
it's
never
interesting.
know. I mean, I think it's creative. I think it's different.
Yep.
But I do, obviously owning an independent brokerage, I see all of this consolidation. I see all of these changes in the space. And I guess, I think for agents, what they need to think about is, how do you differentiate yourself in a sea of agents that are presenting the same exact thing, but I think it's more important than ever for the independents to be creating that value and, doing something a little different, because otherwise, you're just another fish in the sea.
Yeah, I mean, I think in closing, from my perspective, as those deals are happening, agents are going to be on the move. So if you're an independent, it's the time to go and strike and grow the business. So
yeah. Well, yeah. So interesting industry topics.
there's
never know.
other big updates, but we can talk about those next week. But a lot of consolidation, even in the private lending space. There was a big announcement a week ago for one of our competitors that's being acquired. So really exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that.
Yes, that's another crazy jam-packed episode of Realty Talk. If you just started listening, because some people listen kind of late in an episode, you missed all about how to get tan, what to and what not to do, and a whole bunch of drama in the real estate space. But if you haven't done so, please hit the subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. And let us know what you want to hear, because we always talk about the market. We talk about the stuff we're seeing in the industry.
I think people want to know about tanning. I'm going to do extra research on the sunglass thing, and I'll report back.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to hear about it, because I don't ever wear them.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my new sunscreen.
I'm saying this might be something that I should try.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
we will see you next week, and thank you for listening.